Hello, and thank you for purchasing the Ultimate Branding Kit. Whether you are just getting started or have been in business for over 20 years and looking for a refresh, investing in your brand is always a good idea. To get started, open the PDF labeled Branding Kit provided at checkout. This PDF holds all the links you need to get access to your branding files. Let's first jump into the brand boards. This is a good place to get started because you can always play around with the different logos provided as well as different color palettes and fonts if you want to change those up. So when you get into the brand boards, you can view all the designs by either scrolling down or viewing them in the grid view down here. Let's go ahead and start with this design since there is one feature I want to show you how to edit. To update the text, simply click on the text and enter in your own business information. Next, be sure to update the tagline and any other information associated with your brand. If you want to change the case of the text, you can go under this tab and turn off all caps and make it either title case or all lowercase, whatever looks best to you and your business name. Another setting you can play around with, especially if you have a longer or shorter business name, would be to add or subtract some letter spacing. You can do that here by playing with this toggle. To change the color, click on the object you would like to change and click on the color button in the upper left-hand corner. There are a few ways to pick colors. You can either enter in your own hex codes or you can add an image and pull the colors straight from that image. I've also provided the Ultimate Color Palette library in case you'd like to browse some designer approved color palettes. I am just going to go with my preset brand and color palette, which is surprisingly very similar to the designs provided. Okay, and this graphic is a bit special because you need to update the top and bottom of the graphic if you are looking to change that color. Don't worry, most other graphics are much more straightforward to edit. This one's a little bit more complicated. But simply click on the top of it, change the color, and then you're going to select the bottom of it to match that color. Next, you want to update the secondary logo and submark. Again, you just click on the object you want to change and make the updates. Once you've nailed down a color palette, you will want to update the hex codes in the color palette. To find out your color's hex codes, go back to the color bar. Click on the color, then click on the plus sign. Go ahead and copy and paste that number under the color so you can always have access to your exact brand colors. Before I get any further along, I should mention how to update the fonts if you would like to change those up. Go ahead and click on the text you would like to change and come up here to this drop down and you can view the different fonts Canva has to offer. Now, the fonts with the little crown next to it represent premium fonts that are only available to Canva Pro accounts. You can upload your own fonts as well with a Canva Pro account by clicking Upload a Font here. Just be sure to pay close attention to the licensing of that font. If you do end up switching the fonts from my original designs, be sure to update the color palette in your brand board here. And if you'd like to add your own graphics to the logo, you can browse the Elements library with Canva or upload your own here in the Upload tab. Just be sure the graphic is high quality and has a transparent background. Lastly, make sure to update your watermark, which is a white version of your logo you can use over colors and images. Okay, now that your brand board is finalized, you can go ahead and export it so you can always have access to your brand specifications. Just export the page associated with your brand. So go ahead and keep this tab open. And next I'm going to show you how to create your actual logo files. To do this, let's go back to your Branding Kit PDF. Click on the logo design you ended up going with. Even if you ended up making a lot of changes to the logo design, that's okay. We are just going to use these files as a starting point for your logo files. Okay, now that we have that open, I want you to go ahead and delete that logo on the first page. And let's go back to your brand board and copy and paste your primary logo. Simply select all the elements and Command C on a Mac or Control C on a PC. Let's go back to that logo file and paste it here. Make any adjustment so it fits within the frame, and I like to group my logo elements so everything stays put, and then I like to use the position tool to make sure it's centered on the board. We are going to do this for all the logos in your brand board. Just go ahead and delete the original logo and add in your own. If you want to create a few more color options of your logo, you can do that here by duplicating the page and then updating the colors of those specific logos. For your watermark, I've added a color background so you can see what you're doing, but just be sure to remove that before exporting so you don't have that color background and you have just the white logo. I would also come up here and change the name of the file so you can easily access it if you ever need to alternate versions of your logo. Okay, now that all your logos are in this file, let's go ahead and export them. Come up here to download and select PNG, and make sure to turn on transparent background so you don't have a white background behind all your logos. And I would go ahead and have all your pages selected and download. Now all your logos are in a zip folder on your computer, and that's it. You have all your logo files ready to go, as well as your brand board to refer back to when designing the rest of your brand assets.